What is up, everyone? Chris Roma here, aka Things by Roma. Just a little update on the shroom room here. So we got these pink oyster mushrooms are coming in really nicely. We have a cheap $9 brick from Target by Back to the Roots. Those are Pearl Oyster mushrooms, and these are bags that I made myself. We'll get back to that in a second. And then some more buckets of these Pearl Oyster mushrooms. And these ones are coming in a lot better than the first two flushes I had. And I'd assume that's because I have my Martha tent set up now with the humidifier. And it has a controller and a fresh air exchange fan. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. But basically these pink oyster mushrooms, what's happening here is super cool. So originally I just bought a straw bale from a farmer, a local farmer, just for $10 straw bale, just normal straw that you see at like Halloween and pumpkin patches and stuff. So I took that, and I was too lazy to cut it up, so I just shoved it in a bucket with a 5-pound, I broke it up lasagna style, but 5 pounds of sawdust spawn for pink oyster. So I grew that out just in the open air without the Martha tent, and they were all right. They came out okay. We still ate them. They were delicious. But rather than throw that bucket out after those first two flushes, I thought, well, why not mix some of that straw with some straw pellets that I went and bought, and I'll show you that in a minute. But if you look in this bag, you can see there's some really long pieces of straw here. That was not pelletized straw. That's from the original bucket with the two flushes in there. So I can show you what the straw pellets are. So I ended up buying a couple different products to try growing mushrooms on substrate. But originally I was interested in straw because the oyster mushrooms, that's what I thought they grew well on, and it would be cheap and easy, highly available. And I thought pelletized, it's already heat treated during the pellet process. So if I could find a straw pellet that is 100% natural straw, which I did, and it's fairly cheap. I think this bag was $12-13. So it was pretty good. And then you could see it's just like pelletized straw pellets. And then I saw online there was a video making buckets with this natural aspen bedding. It's okay, it came out all right, but I feel for like grow bags and buckets, indoor buckets, I probably won't buy this again. But I did find a recipe for something called a master mix, which is 50% like hardwood pellets and 50% soy hulls. But unfortunately soy hulls are hard to find in my area. So I did find this bag of hardwood pellets, and I'm going to use alfalfa pellets instead of soy hull, because there's a replacement recipe you could use where you use pellets. These are much higher in nitrogen, so you use a lot less of them than you would the soy hulls. But I actually can't find soy hulls in my area, so I'm going with this. It's the next best option. So this bucket, this bag, another bag, this bucket, and there's one more bucket behind me here. Those all I made from the original straw mycelium from the one 5-gallon bucket. So I was able to get another 5-gallon bucket, another 3 2-gallon buckets, and then another 2 probably 5 to 6 pound grow bags, and out of reusing the mycelium from the first bucket, which was super cool because I thought that would be dead, not really useful. Maybe get one more flush out of it, but I was just experimenting, and worked out really, really, really well. So super happy I did it. Also, speaking of this pearl mushroom block here, I actually ended up buying 2 of these. These are supposed to be a grow at home spray kit. You just cut an X open and spray it, and it's supposed to pin and grow really easy all on its own. But I'm not getting any growth out of this brick yet, but I can show you my other brick. And I did make this is another stray. These are blue oysters that I made as well. I cut the bag open here, so we're waiting to see some pinning. But that's also just the straw and that aspen bedding for these blue oysters as well. And here we have some other substrate bags that I started. So from some leftovers, I also had some blue oyster leftovers in a bucket from a 2-gallon bucket flush that I had. And I took the mycelium and I mixed that with the straw pellet. And it's coming pretty good. Definitely colonizing super nicely. Very happy with how this is coming along. So cannot complain about that. So that's the blue oyster. And then there's a bunch of bags. I think there's like 6 bags of blue oysters that I made just from the leftover mycelium from that 2-gallon bucket. And they're all recolonizing nicely. And then up here, that other brick from Target I was talking about, that Pearl Oyster brick, I broke into 2 bags, so probably 2 5-pound bags with the straw of the Pearl Oyster that is now colonizing more. And then we have a couple other, we have a Shitake and a King Oyster that I'm trying as well, but they are going much, much slower. And then just a tease for the follow-up videos, I am soaking some popcorn here in some mason jars so I can maybe try to make my own popcorn grain spawn? Question mark? We'll see. Stay tuned.